Hey, welcome back to the first anniversary show of your favorite YouTube program, Jaws on Sports. We started on I think it's the 20th of February of 2023. This is our 29th show, and we're going strong. We're working on 100 million subscribers, and this is pretty close to becoming just a full-time job for Zach and I. So, anyway, buddy, how's it going tonight?
I wish it was a full time job, just to sit around and contribute nothing to society. That'd be
Hey
nice.
man, we are contributing a critical service to society. We are keeping them both informed and entertained. If you can do that, you're doing something, man.
Or two idiots talking about stuff that doesn't matter.
Hey, there's a lot of freaking idiots out there who are doing good with stuff like this, so why can't we? All right. And we're smart idiots. Let's get that right, pal.
Yeah, it kind of contradicts itself a little
Yeah,
bit.
hey, it's all right. But
Um,
we're working hard, and tonight we had exactly 15 seconds of prep before we started recording. So, your guys are working good here, or working diligently on our production. So I've got a new screen behind me today. They happen to double as blackout curtains, but someday I'm gonna figure out the lighting and the sound and everything else, and this is just gonna look like your favorite Netflix show or whatever. But for today, you've got us, and hey, this is what we look like. You know, yeah, it's good stuff, good times. It's gotten us this far. So, anniversary show, Zach, you take it from here, buddy.
yeah, I didn't know that we had done it for a year, but that's cool. It's exciting.
I didn't know that till about 20 minutes ago. I was looking at our when we started. So yeah.
Um, just started it just to kind of screw off. I think that's what we're still doing. So um, I enjoy it though. It gives me an excuse to talk about sports with you, and it's a fun time.
Yeah, it's a very fun time. And look, if we weren't talking about sports over the interwebs like we're doing, we would be talking about sports over the phone, or when we're together, we'd be talking about sports. So we might as well do it online to entertain our millions and millions of followers. So for tonight, for our anniversary show, Zach is taking the lead. It's all yours.
Our beloved college football video games coming back. We did a show on that a couple months ago. Um, was exciting stuff,
Whoa.
and
Never mind. That didn't work. I'm back.
that college football video game show was our best one. Actually, that was the um, highest rated one. Um, Not why we're doing this one, but a lot of news has come out in the last week. Uh, they did confirm the game's coming out in July of this year. Um, but a lot of news today. There's so much to cover. Um, I don't know how much you saw, but um, they said they sent out the NIL deals to the athletes today. I think they said it was over 11,000 players. And the deal is you get $600 um, to use your name, image, and your likeness in the video game. So it will have the players, their details, what they look like, jersey number. I think they'll go as far as like their helmets that they wear as well. Um, but with the $600, they also get a free copy of the game, so that's pretty cool. Um, I think it said it goes 85 players deep
Yeah,
on the route.
when you after you messaged me about that today, I looked it up on the Bleacher Report, and they had the $600. They had the game. They had up to 85 players per team, and it could be anybody. If you were the third string long snapper, man, you could be a part of this. I think.
Yeah, so what I saw, it's players that start, of course, the backups, and then guys that rotate. Um, if you have some beloved walk on your team that plays, 2 or 3 games a year, he might not be on the game. Um, but for the most part, the names that the young guys that you're excited to see come up, they'll be in the game.
And it's not just the big programs. This is all of the Division I schools.
Yeah, every single team.
Yeah, so let me tell you, if you are a fan of Georgia State, this is your time. If you were a backup or a third string long snapper for Georgia State 5 years ago, now is the time to cash in your $600 and your free copy of the 2025 NCAA EA Sports football. Long time coming.
I think it's interesting. Not just with the players, but the features that will be in this game. Because Madden's kind of in a stranglehold with the NFL. The NFL is the no fun league for a reason. They have a lot of stipulations that they don't let EA Sports do for their image. Like they don't want players' helmets popping off. They don't want injuries. They don't want if the score is 56-10, they don't want the crowd to be empty because they think it looks bad on the NFL. I think with the college game, they'll have less restrictions, um, which is more room to do cool things like the NIL deals. Saying you're at Air Force. Okay, not Air Force. They don't have NIL deals, but Marshall. Let's say you're at Marshall. You have some 4-star recruit. He's a stud. He wins the Heisman his freshman year. And then Ohio State sends him $15 million
Man, Ohio
and
State sucks, man.
body.
Grief.
Well, they send him all this money, and he transfers there. That's going to be an interesting dynamic in the game because you're going to be recruiting these players, and then they'll just leave because they'll get offers elsewhere, which is similar to today. So I think that'll be fun. It'll also be, um, it'll make you want to rip your hair out, but there's going to
Yeah.
be
Hell yeah.
besides you, but
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of new dynamics in the game. So I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, going way, way, way back in time, I'm dating myself here, but one of my favorite Madden games was the Madden 92, which was famous for the Detroit Lions and one greatest of all time running back, Barry Sanders. There's no debate on that. Okay, he's the best. Whoever you're thinking about, Jim Brown, Emmitt Smith, they're after him. But the game plan, if you were the Detroit Lions, was pretty simple. Get him the rock. He could not be stopped. It didn't matter where he was on the field, didn't matter how many guys were chasing him. It didn't matter if 5 guys had him tackled. He would get out of that, he would run around the end, and he would go all the way for a touchdown. Part of that kind of sucked if you were playing the Detroit Lions against one Barry Sanders. But hey, for whatever reason, that's one that I remember from way back in the day. Now, I am not a video gamer, and Zach really isn't either. He plays some, but you can't describe either one of us as big time gamers. But we love when we're together, getting together and playing some Madden or some college football, the EA Sports, the last one, which was it 13 or 14, Zach?
Came out in 2013, but the title is NCAA 14.
14. Yeah, kind of like this year's. It comes out in 24. The title's 25. Yeah. So just with all that, it's interesting because when Zach and I get together, most of the time, if we play the game, we play the NCAA game from a decade ago. We don't play Madden. Why is that? Well, I'll tell you why. In my case, I think it's a lot more fun than Madden. Madden is too, it's complex. It's too technical. And it is beloved by millions of players out there who get the new one every season, and that's really cool. All right, but for casual players like me in particular, the NCAA game is much more fun, and I think part of that has to do with it being the college experience. You can be Georgia State, you can be Alabama, or you could be a really good team like the Oklahoma Sooners. All right. It doesn't matter. And then in recent times, enterprising people came up with code that you can go in there and you could take your favorite Sooner team, like the 2000 national championship team, and put those players in it. Okay. You could name them. Um, well, now with the new game, you don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah, and that kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
brings to the point with Barry Sanders. Who's gonna be that stud on this game that you play against, and you're like, oh man, like I gotta watch this because I remember the old games. You had DeAnthony Thomas in the last iteration of the game. He was the guy. So I'm thinking in this version with the players this year, the player I'm looking out for is Jalen Milroe, Alabama. I think he's going to be really good. Um, as bad as Colorado is, they're 4-8 last year, but Shador Sanders is going to be like a 96 overall.
Well,
They're going to
Shador, he's doing a campaign to be on the cover, and there's no telling who's going to be on the cover of this game. And hey, look, the people that run EA Sports, they're pretty bright when it comes to marketing. Don't be surprised if there's multiple covers, and it might be regional. Yeah, for you business majors out there, it all depends on how much they sell. But if they've got 11,000 players and they want to give them $600 just to sign up and a free copy, they're thinking they're going to make some serious bucks off of this.
well, they're going to make a lot of money either way. But personally, I wouldn't put a 4-8 quarterback at the cover. I get he has the big name, but um, this kind of hurts. I hate these guys, but I respect the hell out of them. Texas. I think Quinn Ewers should be the cover because Quinn Ewers, he's a great player. He has a good team. He has enough star power. I just think personally that makes more sense, but it almost makes too much sense. So I wouldn't be surprised if Dion's boy is the cover. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And I mean, he would look cool on the cover because Colorado looks sweet in their uniforms and all that. And it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
You
But
know, Zach, when you said Quinn Ewers, I mean, respect to him, and obviously the Longhorns are a hell of a team. But I think like 1 billionth of me just freaking died. So thank you for saying that, buddy. You're trying to get rid of your old man. There's other ways, less painful ways to do it. But yeah, I get it. I mean, as far as the guys that are returning from big time programs who definitely have a shot to win it all in the first 12 team college football playoff. You got to figure the Longhorns with Quinn Ewers. If you look at the other teams, Alabama, even though Coach Saban did retire, you figured they've got too much talent to fall too awful far. And their highest profile returning player is Jalen Milroe, who is one hell of a talent out there.
yeah,
And especially if he can learn to be just a little bit under control there in the pocket. Um, there's a lot of guys who transferred out to contending teams. Dylan Gabriel, of course, he went out. Hope respect to him. Hope he has a hell of a season out in Oregon. Love to see him play the Sooners in a bowl game next season. But long ways off for all that. Um, Other teams at the top, like Michigan, Ohio State, Oklahoma, new quarterbacks, LSU, Heisman Trophy winner, Jalen Daniels is gone, new quarterback. Um, Washington, new quarterback. Lots of new quarterbacks out there. So of the players that are returning, higher profile. Hey, look, the Buffaloes kind of took a dump for their last 8 games, but they were they had massive social media presence. They were all over television. You had politicians, you had sports stars, celebrities all over the world talking about them. And hey, Shador Sanders, he's pretty darn good.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see who they pick. Um, with the teams though, my mind's just been spinning. Now we're getting fed more information. Just who's gonna be that villain in the game because they're too good. As you said, Oregon with Dylan Gabriel, they'll be that team's gonna be fun to play with.
Mhm.
Ole Miss picked up a lot of guys in the portal. They'll have a high flying team. I think Georgia is still going to be that team that it's just a pain in the butt to beat. There's always that one team, and NCAA 14, for whatever reason, it was Georgia Tech. They ran the triple option. Could never. I mean, I beat them, but they they always they're just a pest the whole time. So I wonder who that random team will be. But um, seeing teams like Georgia, I think it'll just be fun though. Like you brought up the atmosphere of the game. They have gone to every single stadium, and they have recordings of the fans cheering, the bands, the PA announcers, like the songs they play, the traditions, everything. So they're trying to mimic a game day experience, and I think that'll be great. You'll have Florida and Georgia and Jacksonville and OU Texas, and then um, some weird ones. You'll have like the Egg Bowl
Mhm.
or Army Navy. Um, just all those different traditions and rivalries and playbooks will be fun running triple options. And uh, college is more fun. There's more like motions and whatnot and trick plays. Um, it should be a blast of a game. I think they're going to go in depth with it big time. Um, Before you even get in between the lines, you see the teams running out of the tunnels. Um, the songs they come out to, they'll have they confirmed a couple of broadcasters, Kirk Herbstreit, Chris Fowler, Desmond Howard, guys like that. So they said they're having college game day. So if you're playing in
Yeah,
a
that's
big
really
game,
cool. Well, yeah.
that's so cool because you're playing in a big game. Ohio State's playing Oregon next year,
Go
and
Oregon. Yeah.
and game days in Eugene, and you can see it in the game, and you could like play it in the week leading up to the real game, and it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Awful long time coming, a decade, and just it seemed wrong. I understand from the business side of things, especially if you were a superstar player, and for all of these years until the last couple, these college football and college basketball players in particular were seeing their likeness, their jersey with their name on the back of it. They weren't getting any of that at all. It's become a bigger business than it ever was, and it's spread out to other sports. I mean, good grief, we've got gymnasts out there making a ton of money, softball players, Angel Reese, LSU national champ. Of course, Caitlin Clark from Iowa Hawkeyes recently set the scoring record, about to beat Pistol Pete's record. They're making a ton of money out there off this stuff. So obviously the stars do. And I just thought about something. Another guy from the Colorado Buffaloes who will definitely be in play is Travis Hunter. Okay. Maybe he got burnt out a little bit playing both ways last year, but very high profile player. His podcast is featured on the Bleacher Report stream, so it gets a ton of hits. So that's another guy to look out for. Just thought about that. But this gives a chance for a lot of the players. I mean, I think the statistics change a little bit year to year, but on the average, only I think it's 2% of Division I college football players ever end up playing pro. And that's any kind of pro ball. That could be in some league in Japan. Um, of that total, most the average NFL career is only 3.5 years. Most people don't make a ton of money. They might have a pretty nice salary for a couple years, but then yeah, they're gone. They got to go get another job, try to live their life, try to contribute best they can to the world. So this brings up just a great opportunity for a lot of players out there from the past. The no-name guard from who did a hell of a job for 4 years at Marshall. Okay, to tell his kids and later his grandkids, hey, I'm number 64 out there. Hey, and that's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I personally don't know a lot of people that play in college. I played against some guys that did, but I didn't know them.
Hmm.
I know for sure with my first dynasty I make with whatever team, I'm throwing $1 million at my buddy Matt at Air Force. He's coming to kick for us. Um, that will be my first tampering investigation. I'll be getting my kicker, but like you said, it's cool. You know, you see yourself. The whole lawsuit a decade ago stemmed from having quarterback number 2 on Texas A&M, and
Hmm.
we all knew Johnny Manziel, but the players didn't get paid for it. Um, the players in those games ended up getting paid $80 each. So waited 10 years for a $500 increase for the players, which kind of sucks in hindsight, but I'm just glad it's almost here. We're just a couple months out, and it stinks that happened, but I think the build up, they're starting to ramp it up, and now you're really feeling it that it's back. So all those years of pain, they're kind of slowly drifting off.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty cool. And I was thinking this this all started from a lawsuit. What was the guy's name? UCLA basketball player, national champ, Ed
O'Bannon.
O'Bannon. I remember him. Good grief, man. Wow, time flies. No, UCLA's last national championship, which was damn, it's been a while. But anyway, he was one of the highest recruited players of that year. Had a great run. They won a national championship. I think he had a decent career in the NBA, but um, he was spearheaded this lawsuit that ended up, among other things, putting the kibosh on the NCAA football game. I just, since we're talking about this, I wonder if there's a hoops game on the horizon.
Look,
I haven't seen anything about that. I haven't looked though.
so I'm thinking if we got something like that, it'll be 2 years, 3 years from now. But it definitely opens the door for it. 100% it does. Because in college basketball, not only is there less players, there is more teams in Division 1, but there's less players and less assets you have to send in.
Yeah,
Um, Assets meaning their stadium, the noises, uh, traditions, stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I think that's definitely a possibility. Those old college basketball games were great, and it'd be cool to see them come back. But um, definitely opens the door for that, and it should be interesting to see. At this game, I'm excited for it because it has a different team working on it. It's not the brain dead developers at Madden. This is a completely separate sector in EA Sports working on this. These are guys that are college football fans, put in a lot of work, scanned all these jerseys and helmets and everything. They went to games. I remember UCF played Oklahoma State in the rain. I think they won like 48-3, something crazy like that. Um, but EA was there and they were recording the game. And so if you're playing a rain game in Central Florida, the sights and sounds you see and hear, they might have been from that day. So it's pretty cool that it's not just auto generated, but this is real.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty cool. And I just had to look it up. Like for me, for nostalgia purposes, I love to run the 1990 UNLV Running Rebels national championship team and beat Duke by 30 points in that game. I'd love to be those guys with today's technology playing the game. That'd be really cool. But we'll have to see about that. If the time comes where we learn that there's going to be an NCAA basketball game, then we'll definitely have a show about that. That'd be really fun to talk about.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Those old games were sweet because they had, and it'd be cool if college football did this, but they had all time teams. So you'd have the old UCLA teams, Kentucky teams, Duke teams, North Carolina, Virginia, uh, those old teams, and you can put them in brackets against each other and play a March Madness bracket with them. That was really cool. So
Mhm.
it would be cool if they could um, bring that back somehow.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I got to do a plug here. If you haven't got your PS5, be sure that you get it before the launch of NCAA ZA Sports Football 2025. And that includes me. Okay. I don't have any kind of game console. A few years back around Christmas, I remember we were at, what was it, Bed Bath and Beyond. I don't think, I don't know if all of them went out of business, but many of them did. But they would have weird stuff at Christmas, and one of them was that Atari console, real old school, early mid 1970s. It'd have like 20 or 30 really crappy built-in games for $40. And nostalgia wise, you see that, you're like, oh wow, that's really cool. When I was a kid, I used to play that. And then you take it home, you plug it in, and then you're like, this really freaking sucks, and it's no fun, and it actually hurts to play. And then the next day, you're taking it back to Bed Bath and Beyond. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to join the PS5 generation myself and get on there and play. It's gonna be a blast, man. Uh,
I Sorry, go ahead.
no, no, no. I wanted to point something out. Here today, what is today? 22nd of February. So the Super Bowl was almost 2 weeks ago. The national championship college football game with Michigan winning was over 6 weeks ago. The next big thing in NFL is the draft, which is in 2 months. So we're in kind of a dead season for football. And yet here we are, first off, talking about a college football video game. And then I wanted to bring something up that just came up yesterday. Zach and I briefly chatted about the college football playoffs, the new rules that they have for the 12 team entries and the criteria for them. So, um, because of the dissolving pretty much of the Pac-12, the NCAA went and changed the rules. And so of the 12 teams, you've got the highest ranked five major conference champions, and then the other seven teams are the teams that are ranked the highest. So what do you think about that? I think it's awesome.
I think it's good because we won't see that body bag game the first weekend between Liberty and Georgia
Oh
or
my God. Yeah.
I think that's good. Um, you're talking about kind of breaking up the time in the off season. Have the draft, but going back to the game, we have the game coming out in the summer too. And with the playoff in the game, they said you could customize it. So you have that 5-7 split, um, which is much better for college football, I think. I like that you're rewarding teams for winning their conference. And then, if you're ranked 13th, I
Mhm.
think, you're
Too
screwed.
bad. Yeah.
Screwed. Yeah. So I like that. But um, group of five just doesn't belong. I mean, we saw Oregon with their backups um, totally thrash Liberty, and that would be replicated just about every single year if they got that auto bid. So I'm glad they didn't. For the sake of the game, though, I might be making a 64 team if it'll let me go that far.
Yeah, I
I think
was
that
reading today that there's actually talk in 26, preliminary talk to expand it to 14 teams. Now,
yeah,
look, in big time college athletics, if you're watching a game and it's anybody that is a top 50 and they're using the term student athletes, yeah, yeah, let's be honest. It's a game of making a lot of money. unless those guys are Ivy League players or at service academies or whatever have you, the school is trying to make as much money as they can off of the team, and the NCAA is trying to do that as well with their TV partners and everything, you know. So, hey, just with that, if they expand it, if they continue to expand the team or expand the playoff pool, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Just for the fan, it might help because maybe we might see some better bowl games. Unlike this past season we had so many teams that had players transfer or sit out or whatever have you.
Yeah, I it'll be interesting to see, but um, can't do too much till then. We don't have very much going on, so we're kind of just clinging on to anything. Draft, new playoff news, new video game news. Um, Personally, I'll be bringing back Marshall for sure. Georgia State will be returning. Um, I like Apple Chain. Someone might get mad at that. I just like to call them that because it's funny. Um, but I just like having those terrible programs you can bring up and um, put them on that level of an Alabama, Ohio State. I don't know if you're interested in that, but I'd like to hear your thoughts on some wonky team you'd play for.
Oh man, let me tell you, I love to bring back like 1992 Kansas State, you know, worst program of the 90s. Um, like to bring them back, start from scratch. Maybe his worst program of the 80s. Yeah, maybe that's it. Um, I think that'd be fun.
How
Probably
about
lose a lot, but hey, might start winning. Um, I wonder what kind of career build or recruitment modes they're gonna have because it'd be crazy if they didn't.
well, yeah, they'll have it's called Road to Glory. It's where you start in high school. You play like a season, it's your senior year, and then you get recruited to play in college. Then you have to practice to become the starter. Um, I think with that, it can be interesting though because you're going to get recruited with these new NIL policies where um, Tennessee's going to offer you McDonald's location for you to manage after you retire, and Tulane's going to give you uh, keys to the Saints Stadium, and Oregon's going to give you all the Nikes and all that. And you're like, oh, where do I go to school? Um, it'll be interesting. They're gonna have of course, just a play now that you just pick the teams and go. Um, Dynasty, you take a school. You can be the head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, um, and then go from there. Play the seasons, recruit. Um, you can switch up. It's cool. You can do conference realignment as well as the playoffs. So you can add playoff games, or you can put um, Florida in the Pac-2 if you want to. Um, so that'll be cool. I think
Warehouse pack too, man. I love it.
there's going to be a lot of customization, and players can do a lot. I think with the game.
That's really cool. Yeah, we're down to about a minute left in our show tonight, and I want to thank the good folks at Chick-fil-A for not screwing up my order tonight. Did a good job. I do appreciate them bringing back that side salad and with some ranch dressing, and I take my sandwich, the ranch dip I get, and just kind of throw all that in there and dip the sandwich in there after I eat the salad part. It's good stuff. You should try it. You'd love it, man. I know it.
No,
Yeah, you
I
probably wouldn't do that.
my only thing I'll say tonight is game comes out in July. Uh, I don't know how this works with Xbox and PlayStation, but um, you and my buddies for sure. Anybody watching this, if you want to, they're gonna have this thing called Online Dynasty, where you pick a team and you get to play against. You get to play a full season schedule, but you'll be able to play against other people in your league. So if I was Texas and you were Utah, we could play like once in the season, and then other games would be against like the computer.
Oh,
But
that's cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
so you could get a league with like 20, 30 people, and
It's almost
uh,
like a fantasy football type thing, sort of.
yeah, but the only difference with that is you're actually playing the game.
Yeah.
So
No,
um,
that's cool.
if there's anybody watching this that would like to join that, I'm sure you could find me somewhere. But I'd like to get that going. Got a couple buddies, and if we can get you to get that PlayStation, then
Oh
definitely
yeah,
have you.
man. Yeah, yeah, I'll be doing that. That's going to be fun. I didn't know that. Yeah, we'll definitely hit on that more as we go along. But for tonight, man, hey, we're running out of time. This was our first anniversary show, 29th episode of Jaws on Sports. We're going strong still, and we're going to go strong to the moon for a long time coming. You can't get rid of us. I don't care how hard you try. We are here to stay. And if you love us, well, there's not a love button, but like, subscribe, tell all your millions of followers to do the same because we would love to entertain them. I'm Mike. Zach, we had a hell of a show tonight. NCAA EA Sports 2025 football game. Cannot wait for it. Have a good night, folks. Take care. We'll see you next time.